Hi there. So I'm just going to pretend that you're my best friend and I'm talking to you. I always do this whenever I was feeling unconfident for writing articles. So I'm going to do the same thing with videos. It really works. It's great. Just do it. Because I was feeling a bit crazy. I read this book in Spanish. It's Horton, Here's a Who in English. You might be familiar. And it's a really sweet story about this cartoon elephant, who hears these really small people living on a speck of dust, and they're crying out because their village is being threatened. And Horton is able to take care of them, even when the other animals think that he's crazy. In the end, the small little people are able to magnify their voices enough that everyone hears them and realizes they exist and it's important to protect them, right? And yeah, as an animal advocate or a total liberation activist, you could say, I related to that a lot and kind of put myself in Horton's position in that book of just people can think that you're crazy when you try to speak up for those whose voices are seemingly so invisible. And so I liken that to the situation with non-human beings because a lot of them are smaller than us humans, along with the fact that we can't translate their voices, or in the cases of beings like fish, we can't even hear their voices. The way they communicate is so different from us, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're less sentient, that they're less sensitive, that they don't have complex inner and social lives like many creatures who live on land. So here I was wanting to make a video about it just to share and, feeling crazy because how am I going to make my case and explain this to people? But I know someone out there will relate to this and really hear what I'm saying, right? Because we all know that size doesn't matter as far as the fact that we're here, we have feelings, we want to avoid disaster and suffering, right? It doesn't matter what height I am, what weight I am, with, other animals in the picture. We know that a little Chihuahua is just as important as a Great Dane or some type of dog who's very large. And I think our society could really move forward a lot the more we can realize that in regards to all types of beings, because sometimes the beings who are the smallest also exist in greater numbers. So it's kind of even more important to care about them when there's such an opportunity to help, when there's so many of them. So I think about that with fish, because fish beings are killed in the greatest number of, I think, all the vertebrates who we eat for food. And I think about it with like little mice and rats who are brought into existence just so that they can, live a subpar life, maybe in a small cage, and be experimented on, often painfully. If we recognize they're beings just like our dogs, and look how we're treating them. But dogs are also experimented on as well. And I don't even know how many Americans realize that or think about that. Anyway, any hoozles. Not the clearest, best video ever, but I still wanted to just say hi. And I know a lot of people react to advocacy for those of us who are not human with hostility, like how can you be caring about them? And for me, it's just always been so obvious, like we all suffer vulnerability and discrimination. Every human being at some point in their life knows what it's like to be looked down upon as if you are, less important. Your feelings matter less, because of who you are in some way, including intelligence and your ability to communicate. Like if you're a very shy person, if you're on the autism spectrum, like that's been part of my experience, and I wasn't always able to advocate for myself as a transgender person either. And that really just fueled my passion for wanting to speak up for those who obviously have much less of a voice than I do, even with my problems. And that includes both human and non-human beings of all shapes and sizes. So yeah, I hope something in this video inspires. And who else agrees that Horton the elephant is like such an inspiration? Thank you, Dr. Seuss. Such a sweet story. I will catch you next time, and I hope you have a compassionate and happy day. Bye.